in Washington, D.C. Now, limited tickets do remain at Ticketmaster.com, but they're going quickly. So if you can't join us in person, you can watch live on ESPN Plus for the lead card and ESPN Plus pay-per-view for the main card. Now, we appreciate everybody that's taking some time to join us today. We look forward to fielding your questions for all of the athletes. We're going to do it in stages today, so just keep that in mind with your questions. Not everybody will be on at once. First up, it will be bitter rivals Bubba Jenkins and Chris Wade, who will renew their rivalry in a much-anticipated featherweight clash. And then afterward, we'll have 2023 lightweight finalist Clay Collard, who rejoins us today after some technical issues prevented him from joining us on a previous call. And finally, we'll wrap up with two-time PFL women's lightweight champ Kayla Harrison and her recently announced new opponent, Aspen Ladd. So that lays out the plan for the day. Without further ado, let's bring in our first set of athletes, Bubba Jenkins and Chris Wade. And Chris, I'll start with you. I know you're a little bit disappointed to not be in the finals, of course, but the PFL says, hey, we want you to come in, take this rivalry fight. Let's get this trilogy going. What was your interest and what was your initial reaction when you said, let's do this?
Yeah, I was a little surprised because this isn't something that typically the PFL does, right? It's all structured around the season and then into that championship final. So leaving the hotel in San Antonio, honestly, I was throwing shit out because I was like, I don't need this I won't need this till April, if anything. So I definitely thought that was a wrap for the season, but it was a pleasant surprise for me. I'm somebody who, while I'm here and I'm in this game, like while I'm healthy, I want to compete. So anytime someone calls, like you can ask them. There's been times like last season I didn't fight on the final, but I asked to fight on the final. I think Shane needed somebody, someone got hurt, or Marlon needed somebody, had gotten hurt, and I threw mine right away. I'm just trying. So that's why I jumped on it.
Much respect. All right, we'll get to Bubba in just a second. Media already lining up. Appreciate it. Just raise your hand there virtually if you're looking for a question. Bubba, I'll ask you, I know the stakes aren't what you were hoping for as well, but you are on the card. This is a fight that people are looking very much forward to. So what's your anticipation for this matchup a little more than a week out?
Man, I'm very, very excited, very humble. I didn't give the performance that I had, that I wanted last time. I've had an amazing year so far. I've had amazing, 2 years, being in the finals last year and just coming short. And, I'm humbled. I'm excited for the opportunity and, was super, super happy that the PFL, considered this for me. This is something that, I in a sense needed because I didn't feel as though that, my last performance was the one that I even had for camp. I trained very well and every minute of camp, except for inside the cage, was a beautiful moment. So, we had another good camp and we're trying to fix the wrongs and come back and, focus on Batman things.
I love it. Well, I'm glad that this fight came together. I was calling for it. I know a lot of people were calling for it. So glad both you guys agreed to it. Now we'll turn it over to the media so they can ask you guys questions. Tani, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, Gabriel, please start us off.
Hey, thank you guys. First off, just a question for Chris Wade. You talked about it a little bit, but the platform of the championship card, just, when you've been in the PFL for so long, how much does it mean to you to still be a part of the biggest event of the year for the promotion?
It means a lot. Like we said earlier, little disappointing, obviously, to not be fighting for that title, but still love to compete, and I do love the PFL. I love everything that they're about. They just keep taking big steps. Like every 6 months or so, you see something new and crazy go down. So I'm just excited for their growth. I'm excited that I started out with them. It's been really cool to just watch the exponential building of this thing. So to be a part of the card in the final, that's awesome. I always want to be on that show.
And then I have a question for Bubba. Bubba, obviously, this is a fight that you're motivated for, but you were announced as the backup. Is there still a part of you that's just making sure, like, hey, we're going to be 145 on the dot just in case for that featherweight final?
Yeah, weight's good. Everything's amazing. Camp's been absolutely beautiful. And, you know, there is not really a part of me that's still looking for that world championship. I have conceded to the fact that I did not do everything that I was supposed to do. You know, next year I'm coming back hungry and even more mad. I'm completely focused on Karen for this fight. And, you know, next time y'all want to do an interview with us together, maybe call me after he's done, because I cannot stand hearing this dude's voice talk. He is a terrible interview, and this is dry, and I'm already ready to go to sleep because I just woke up. But, yeah, next time let's try to do a different timing or schedule, because he is the worst interview to watch. Good God.
Well, now I think we're just more interested for the fight. Thank you, gentlemen.
Terrible.
Anik.
Chris, I got a question for both of you. Chris, has the PFL said anything to you about if Jesus Pinedo were to miss weight and Bubba were to take his spot? Is there any backup opponent for you, or are you just kind of focused on Bubba?
Yeah, I've been wondering that a little bit, because obviously he had the weight issue last fight, and this time around that would lead to him being out because this is a title fight. So I don't really know what would go on there, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's $1 million fight. I'm going to assume the guy's he's going to make the weight probably. But you know, if that went down, man, it went down. You know, you just got to be ready. That's all you can do. So I'm not going to sweat that too much. I'm going to just prepare like we're fighting him.
Understood. Best of luck. And Bubba, welcome to DC. I'm wondering what song are you going to walk out to, and do you have any connections to the city?
I'm from the DMV, so I'm right in my backyard. Virginia's going to be out there in full force, especially for this fight. So we're going to have a lot of people in the crowd, in the stands, in the hotel rooms. It's going to be a Batman event for sure. But no connections to DC other than it's Virginia's backyard. And I'm always going to be walking out to bad to the bone. That's who I am. That's what we're doing.
I'm excited to see you both go at it. Best of luck.
First time I have to mute out Highway to Hell and that dumbass song before Wade comes out. But, yeah, we already know the crowd will be rocking with Bad to the Bone.
Understood. Best of luck.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith. Question for Chris. Chris, as you're hearing right now, there's still no love lost between you and Bubba. Dude, this is going to be a road match between you two. Does it give you more motivation because you're facing him and the relationship y'all have with each other?
I mean, yeah, of course it does. You have to be dead, no pulse, to not be motivated by some of this shit that comes out of this guy's mouth. I mean, it's been a long time I've been living in your head, a long, long time. I mean, I haven't even said anything directed toward you yet, and you're like, you can't help it. You got to jump on. Oh, I can't listen to this guy. Bro, fucking mute it then. I don't care what you have to say. Mute it. Do whatever you got to do. You're already late. You're a fucking bum.
And for Bubba, there's like from Wade, what would it mean for you to beat him for this coming fight?
It would mean I did what I was supposed to do, and what I did not that long ago, how quickly he forgets. I beat the shit out of him literally in April. Not on some April Fool's Day, but I made him look like a fool. And this Black Friday is going to be Batman things. I'm dressing in all black for his funeral. The fact that we have this fight is all due to me. He should be thanking me. He should be sending me a Christmas gift for Thanksgiving, because he has nothing to do with this night. He hasn't seen this night in 3 years. He's going to lose for his third time more than anyone this year. He's had 4 fights and going to lose 3 of them this year. PFL won't see him next year. This will be his last time in the PFL. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you throwing out all your shit. You're probably going to get new gear, new information, new organization, and all that. thank you for being in the PFL. We haven't seen you we haven't had a good year since I was going through a divorce. And other than that, man, we truly are here for the moment that I wanted, and the moment that the PFL wanted.
Let me hear that excuse again. How quickly you fucking forget what I did to you.
You haven't done anything since I was in a divorce. That's all I'm going to say.
You got nothing
literally have done nothing to the PFL.
Excuses.
Since you beat me.
I've done nothing for the PFL. I got highlights.
Since you beat me, you have done absolutely fucking nothing.
What have you done? What the fuck have you done?
I was in the finals last year. I was the number 1 seed this year, and I made a mistake for about 8 minutes.
KO'd.
You're a terrible interview.
Come out
go ahead. The rest of you guys can go ahead and ask your questions.
You get TKO'd. One or the other. Two fucking options. And that's what's going to happen again.
Ask your question. Karen, quiet.
Singlet on, or you
someone mute him.
One or the other. One or the other.
Karen, there are people on the line. Quiet.
Sounds like a people's main event. Thank you, gentlemen.
No problem.
Ben.
And you should be thanking me, Karen. Make sure you thank me.
The fuck up.
They were never even going to consider you.
So much love here in this fight.
Please bring Karen on because, you know, I need something to do. If Pinedo doesn't make weight, I'm of course the alternate. But if Pinedo doesn't make weight, if Braga doesn't make weight, if I don't make weight, they're still not going to consider Karen. He's literally the 6th seed. He wasn't even considered for the playoffs. But I mean, I digress. I'm sorry.
I wasn't considered, but I fought in the playoffs. How funny is that? I wasn't even considered, and I am a fucking.
You fought in the playoffs. How'd you get there? How'd you get there, being the number 5 seed?
As the alternate. How many points did I have? How many points?
You're right. Go ahead, Karen. You're right. You got that.
Yeah. All right. What's going on, guys? We'll get this back on track real quick. Let's take it to Chris Wade. You just earned your brown belt several weeks ago from Coach Greg. I was hoping that you could break down what that achievement means for you.
Means a lot to me. You know, I'm somebody who actually respects, you know, this sport and everything around it. So working my way toward black belt and for the gym, that's definitely a meaningful thing for sure.
And to take it to Bubba, now you had 11 Bellator fights. This will be your 11th PFL fight. What do you feel about the prospect of everything being under one promotional roof?
I love it, man. I love everything that Bellator had done for me, and I love everything that PFL is doing for me. You know, I'm a big fan of these organizations that just continue to try to do different things. And, you know, I'm all about MMA growing in every aspect, and I think it's going to be awesome. There's a lot of guys in the Bellator that, you know, were blessed by the higher ups that, you know, they had a little stock in the game. And I was looking for a lot of those guys. The only reason why I left is because they wouldn't give me the opportunities I was looking for. So now that, you know, it's full circle and they got to come see me and, you know, I'll be a face to reckon with. It's a beautiful thing. My word says they make a table in the presence of your enemies. So I think my table is being made, and I'm definitely going to eat on Thanksgiving.
I love it. Now, lastly, for me, I was hoping because there's so much love between you guys. What's one nice thing you could say to each other? We'll start with you, Chris.
Fuck that.
I like Chris. I like his. I mean, Karen. My bad. I started wrong. I like his agent. Karen's got one of the best agents in the game.
Yes, I can agree there. Same. There we go.
He suckered him into this fight, and he told him, "Yeah, we should definitely sell this fight because you need another fight, being in the finals 2 years in a row and kind of slipping. So yeah, we would like for you to get that." And I said, you know what, Ali, that makes sense. You know what, you are one of the best agents in the game.
You talk that shit, but
hey, Karen, I'm talking.
You're the one without that roster spot next year, buddy. Don't be fucking surprised. Don't be surprised if you're the one sitting outside after all that shit you talk. Because you know what? If karma's a thing, you fucking deserve
it. You're gonna be on your third loss.
Fucking deserve it. Wait till you're shaking your fucking head, looking up, asking God what happened.
You're gonna have more losses than anyone in the PFL this year.
Self-reflection to do, brother. You really do.
All right, let's not do the brother thing, because one thing we are not is brothers. All right, brother.
Yeah,
you are not my kid. We don't look alike. We're not cut from the same tree.
Kid. The fuck is kid, brother? What are you talking about?
Hey, brother. Hey, listen. Just relax. Karen, there are people online. Just chill, bro. Chill.
Exactly. That's how we could do it. You could do the white thing. That's how this can run. Yeah, Karen
Are you gonna try again, Karen? Because I said brother. Are you? Come on, Karen. Are you about to go tell someone again? Go tell on me again.
Tell someone again. Who have I ever fought? What the fuck are you talking about? Who have I ever?
Tell it. All right. Do you want to go over the story?
Who?
Do you want to go over the story?
What did I do?
When you thought I missed weight and you called everybody in the fucking organization wanting not only to see the film, not only to see the audio of me missing weight, you called our agent, you called Ray Cepho, you called everybody in the PFL like, oh my God, I heard Bubba didn't make weight. I want to see it. I want to see it. Just that to make sure that we would. So what? So what? You just claimed
you
that?
missed weight.
All right, Karen. All right, Karen.
Your purse.
All right, Karen. All right, so what? So what? I called 17 different people to make sure that you did.
So I'm supposed
all right, Karen, go ahead.
Weigh whatever you want.
Whose question is next? I'm done talking to Karen. I'll go with anybody but Karen.
It doesn't make any sense, so you just talk over it. Of course, if you miss, I want the fucking extra purse.
But you know I didn't miss.
No, I didn't know that because it didn't say that.
No, you just heard 146 and didn't hear the last part and was like, oh my gosh, call miss. No, call Ali, call Ray Cepho, call just like a Karen. You went to the to call everybody like you know you was a bitch and try to make sure that 146 was 146.0 and not the 146.1 with a rubber band in my head. Stop playing, Karen. Just chill. We'll fight soon.
Okay.
All right, guys. Amy.
Hi, guys. Ben stole my question. I was going to ask you to be nice, but I don't think that's possible today. I'm just curious if the emotions that you guys are showing right now, if either of you are worried that maybe that's a little bit too much. Are you going to be able to focus during the fight, or are you going to be able to bring this heat into the cage?
Because Karen doesn't really deal with Amy like I do, I'll go ahead and take this question. Most of the guys have been saving the best for last, so I appreciate you guys for doing that. But because it's Amy Kaplan, I'm gonna go ahead and speak. I've already considered this. We did this in April. Everyone was telling me, even Lockname was telling me, yo, just calm yourself down. Then I showed up to weigh-ins with tape on my mouth, and then I showed up to the fight and literally blitzed his ass. He did absolutely nothing for 15 minutes except understand that he was giving up 4.5 minutes of riding time every round. And I'm glad they gave you a brown belt. I still have my white belt or a blue belt, so it's gonna look real ridiculous when I blitz you again with that brown belt.
These people,
I don't know why they gave you a brown belt when you screamed that you want to stand up.
Who watched that fight and was like, "Wow, that was an exciting fight. That was a great fight." You're up.
It was very terrible for your fans to watch that fight. It was very terrible.
It stole your fucking balls off. You run around.
I put my balls on your back is what I did. I put my balls on the back of your neck. And I gyrated.
Yeah.
And then you went crying again.
Oh my
gosh, someone should tell him to apologize.
I got a few pictures of me with my balls.
You know why I call you Karen? Do you understand why I call you Karen? Because all you do is bitch and cry and complain and call and send in notes and fucking send emails and write letters. All you do is some Karen shit, dog. Matter of fact, your dad's in my DMs on some Karen shit. My mom or my people would never DM you. You know how many family members I got of Wade in my DMs? This week I might post some Wade family drama. Your father is in my DMs. What kind of Karen is that? Which parent is in another fighter's DMs except for your father?
Don't know.
All right, well, I can tell you, a Karen's.
Thank you.
All right. Amy, did you have a follow-up?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Jake.
Hey guys, so Bubba, that was actually my question. Perfect timing. Explain the landlord jacket. What's up with that?
He know what the landlord jacket is. He said he lived rent free. You know that rent due. You better have my checks. No matter of fact, don't have it in check. Have it in cash, Karen. Have it in cash. The landlord is back and your rent is due. If you don't give me your rent this time, I'm evicting you. You understand?
You got the England
I live rent free in his head. No, you live in the shack in the back where the windows have glass. and I
Don't
knocked on
move,
that
Bubba.
shit and
Stay
said
where
the
you
landlord
are.
is back.
Don't move. Don't give him
You
your
live
neck.
in a
You're
shack
winning.
in the back
move,
where
Bubba.
the windows have cracks.
Don't move.
And I knocked
Stay right
on that shit and I said the landlord's
Stay right
back.
there. Don't move.
The
I'm the
landlord's
landlord.
back.
Like, yo, it was like you were holding
Have
somebody
my
waiting for
rent.
the cops to
Have
come.
my rent
help.
in cash this time.
Help.
I took it in check last time because we were close to Father's Day. This time I got Christmas and I got babies. Make sure you have my check in cash. I mean, my shit in cash.
Watch.
The landlord is back, boy.
And shut your mouth. You're gonna shut your mouth soon.
You're gonna shut it for me, aren't you? No, you're not. I'm gonna gyrate on your back for the second time.
The
landlord is back. Make sure you have my fucking rent. Make sure you have my fucking rent.
Chris, you've already fought Bubba twice. I'm wondering, what have you learned about him, about you two fighting with your time in the octagon so far?
What have I learned about Bubba as a fighter? Bubba's a bully. He's got a fucking huge mouth.
You damn right. You damn right I'm a bully. I've been bullying you since we met, Karen. I bullied you in the hallway. I bullied you at weigh-ins. I bullied you in the interview. I bullied you in the fucking elevator. As soon as I got on the elevator, you jumped off. I bullied you for life.
Shut the fuck up for 1 second. It's my question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bully. Go ahead. Go ahead, Karen. Next time, do an interview differently, bro. My energy doesn't match his. My style doesn't match his. He's nothing like me. So next time,
we are nothing alike. Obviously, that's why we don't fucking like each other.
Every time you ask him a question, we gotta slowly.
You walk around like
and
you're
the energy,
McGregor,
and we gotta like actually wake up to hear this dude.
You're a fucking nobody, and you do nothing.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and do our last question. Patrick Dana, please.
Hi, this is a question for both you guys. Chris can go first. Who do you guys think wins the 2023 PFL Championship at the lightweight division, Gabriel Braga or Jesus Pineda?
It's featherweight, but all right.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go Braga. He got the close win over Pineda the first time. Tough dude. He's got one of those years going, man. He came out of nowhere, slipped in as the alternate, got the spot of I forget that other dude's name, but he took somebody's spot and he ran with it. And I just think sometimes that momentum means something. You see other sport teams go on these kinds of runs. So he just seems like he's got that flow this year.
And Bubba?
Yeah, man, Braga is having a Cinderella year. He's done some amazing things. I love what he's doing as a son. I have sons of my own, so to see him have his father in a corner and for them to make their rise in the PFL is a wonderful, beautiful thing to see, man. I'm rooting for them. But I think Pineda wants that get back. He had that fight in the beginning of the year where they gave him a loss. I look at it a couple of times and I would have maybe gave Pineda another win. And Pineda has beaten the top two finalists of last year. And I think he's going to beat an undefeated guy and literally make himself on the map for a legitimate fighter. Pineda has legitimate skills, legitimate heart. He's a true scrapper. And not just because he beats me, because I definitely want that fight back. But I'm just super proud of what the two finalists have done this year to put themselves in the position to not only feed their family, but to make an exciting night. And I know he's a big 45-pounder. I'm praying that he makes weight because I really do want this fight. But I will take the $1 million in a heartbeat. Nonetheless, I knocked on that shack in the back of my head where the windows have cracked, and I told that little man, the landlord is back. He better have my money.
Thank you, boys.
All right.
Can't wait to watch you throw down.
Oh, it, boys.
You better have my money.
Well, guys, I think
where
did you learn to write poetry? You got thrown out of high school.
Right after I beat your ass in April. Right after I beat your ass in April, I was thinking, roses are red, violets are blue.
As soon as you woke up.
And his whole crew.
Bubba's
the man, bad man things. Every time I see Karen, I want to slap his feelings. After I beat your ass in April, I started writing poetry. It's another thing. It's another talent of mine.
Nevada has
another talent of mine. Here, let me think of another one on the spot. With all due respect, some respect ain't due. I'm a smack Karen and every man in his crew. How about that? How about
been
that one? I can write
All
another
right.
one for you,
He's been-
Karen. You like my poetry?
Bubba, we got to end the poetry hour. You know when it's a question about
The
predicting
poetry
another fight
slam.
and they're
That's
arguing
right.
with each other. We got tension. I think I speak for everybody when I say we could do this all day.
All
But we got other
day,
guys.
Karen.
We got other
The reason
guys
why
to
we
get to.
can't do
Now
this
you're with
all
us all
day
day. You
because
didn't even want to be on the phone when you were
can't
late
stick with me.
before.
We've got other guys. Chris, Bubba, thank you both for the time. If everybody wasn't looking forward to the fight before, I know they are now. We will see you in Washington, D.C., gentlemen. Thank you for
good
your
luck,
time.
Cassius. I'm watching you, big dog. I've been watching you for a long time. Let's go, Clay. Go get it.
Thank
I'll see
you,
you guys.
guys.
Thank you guys for the interview. I appreciate it. Next time, have me on a different time than this guy because we not cut the same.
All right. Noted. Thank you, Bubba. All right. As mentioned, Cassius Clay Collard. He is finally in the lightweight finals. And I know we were supposed to have him on earlier. We had some technical issues. He wasn't able to join us, but Cassius is with us now, and we will bring him in now. Clay Collard, man, getting ready for the finals. I know there's still another step to go, but what's the feeling like for you right now ahead of this big moment?
We're feeling confident. Yeah, I just can't wait to punch a Canadian in the face, man.
We're looking for that. Olivier Aubin-Mercier, of course, will be the opponent. He's been perfect in the PFL. What do you think about the matchup?
I'm excited about it. He's talking about retiring. I want to go give him a reason to fucking retire. So,
all right, well said. A man, a few words, but they're the right ones to say, man. Strong stuff. All right, listen, we're going to turn it over to the media now. They're lined up, guys. If you have a question for Clay Collard, make sure you got your hand raised, and we will try to get to it as best we can. We'll turn it over now to Tawny to get to the media questions.
Jay Christian.
Hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jay Christian Gary of Focus Fights Audio. I'm sorry, I was just so basically hopped up on laughter after that previous incident that happened with the two featherweights fighting. I know that you probably have some type of history with both Chris Wade and Bubba Jenkins in some form, but since this is about your fight now, I'm pretty sure the cordial move will be more respectful. But still, though, I got a couple questions to ask. First of all, when it comes down to your trajectory currently in the PFL, you are 3-0 this season. You beat Yamato Nishikawa. You knocked out Stevie Ray, and you beat up Shane Burgos to get to this title opportunity. I mean, I think I might have already asked a similar question like this before, but what would beating Olivier Aubin-Mercier and, sending him into retirement, winning that $1 million and the PFL lightweight title mean to your career trajectory?
I mean, that's just, that's what I've been working towards since I started this thing, is being a world champion. So the money's a bonus, and snatching a belt from somebody that wants two of them is another bonus. So, yeah, we're at the top of our game, and we're ready to go prove it.
Understood. And another question is, I know that you basically said, which is obviously true, it's a retirement fight for OAM. It could possibly be a retirement fight for you if he beats you. But let's just say if the opportunity does come about, and I know I asked this before, but I'll ask again, if you were to put down both sets of gloves, boxing and MMA, and just call it a career, what would you hope that fight fans would understand about both of your careers in combat sports, boxing and MMA?
That I'm a gangster, bro. I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. I've never shied away from fights, and I always go out there and put it on the line to put on shows. So.
I see. Other than that, man, best of skill to you on Thanksgiving weekend. I hope that you and Olivier tear down the house.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm the main event, brother.
Exactly.
All right, Gabriel Morales.
What's up, man? It's Gabe here from the MMA Space. I wanted to ask you, when I interviewed Olivia last time we had this, man, let me tell you, he seemed relaxed, and from some of the questions I asked him, he seemed pretty much to the point where he saw no danger in you, or it made it seem as if you pose no threat. Is there something you want to say to that?
He's delusional. He's got mediocre wrestling. His striking's okay, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, if he's not threatened by me, he's overlooking me, and that's a mistake.
So my follow-up question is, are we going to see an upset on the PFL Championships?
I ain't surprised.
It's good to hear. Good to hear. That's all from me.
Amy. All right, we'll come back to Amy. Ben.
Hey, what's going on, Clay? Now, we can't look too far ahead without briefly looking back. When you watch that fight with Shane Burgos, what are some of the big takeaways and potential areas of improvement that you look back on?
I think I would have finished him in the second round if I hadn't hurt myself. So, the fight was going to game plan. Yeah, he's kicking my legs and hurting my legs a little bit. That seems like something people like to try to do, but it hasn't worked yet. I feel like it was a good fight, and I ended up finishing it while I was injured. So.
For sure. Definitely one for the history books. Now, finally fighting for that $1 million in the World Championships. It's been a couple seasons of being, an arm's length away, but now you're inches away. What are the emotions associated with, potentially realizing that accomplishment?
Man, we're cool, calm, collected. We can't get too caught up in our emotions. You got to put those to the side and handle business, and that's what I'm here to do.
Love it. Best of luck, Clay.
Ronald.
This is Ronald D. Smith. Clay, all the way back when you first came to PFL, you've always claimed that you are the best in the world. And now fast forward, you're in the main event for the title. In those emotions, what would it mean for you to solidify yourself as that? And when feeling that you will claim to be that person that you always thought you were?
Well, I guess I'll tell you after that belt's around my waist how it feels. Because right now, I don't know.
Fair enough. And during that time then, when the fight does come, how do you feel when you step in the cage, when you look at your opponent? What feelings do you have when you face off against him?
The cage is my happy place, man. The cage is where I go to get rid of all the other outside bullshit of the world. So I'm a piece in the cage, and I'm in there to do me. I ain't worried about what the fuck he's got going on.
Best of luck to your fight.
Jake.
Hey, Clay. Happy almost fight week. How we feeling?
Like $1 million.
And that's my next question, man. So close to the fight. Are you able to reflect? What do you think's going to feel better? What are you more looking forward to? What's more motivating, the $1 million or the title?
The title, 100%. That's something nobody can ever take away from me. I can't spend my world title. You know what I'm saying? That's something I'll have for the rest of my life.
For sure. And then Olivier obviously hasn't lost in the PFL. So let me just ask you, what do you have to do differently than other fighters have done to give him his first loss and walk away with the $1 million and the title?
I just got to be me, man. I've been calling it since the beginning of the year. It was going to be me and him in the finals. I've got my eye on him. I've got him figured out, and I think I'm the man to beat him. So I just got to go in there, and I just got to be me.
Best of luck. Best of skill.
Sean.
Hey, Sean Murphy here. First and foremost, that fight between you and Shane Burgos, that was a barn burner. You've had a great year so far. Let's cap it off with a monumental moment retiring Olivier. Once you do that $1 million, what's the first thing you're going to get and why you're going to get it?
I'm gonna buy a house because my house is too small for me and all my damn kids.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Success and nothing less. Best of luck. You are the main event for a reason.
Damn right, bud. Damn right.
Andrew.
Hello, Mr. Collard. My question for you is, I know you have all the Mortal Kombat tattoos. I'm curious to know, have you played the most recent Mortal Kombat 1 video game?
So sadly, I've not. I've kind of been focusing on training, and I want to get a new console first. I'm still rocking the PS4, so as soon as I get a new console, I think we get the game, and then we handle business. Beating the campaign and maybe getting online, beating some kids up. But
I got to ask, what is your history with the game? It's obviously very important to you because you have tattoos of Raiden on you. And so, yeah, what is it about the game that connects with you so much?
that's my childhood, man. That's my family. Those are, growing up playing those games, watching the movies, playing Mortal Kombat on the trampoline and beating each other up. And yeah, it's family to me.
Great. Thank you, sir.
WBGR TV.
Hello, WBGR TV here, Koi. My question is, you mentioned your training. How's that been going? How's your training camp?
I mean, we had to work around a few things for a little while, but we're healthy now. We're feeling good, and I'm in great shape. I feel like when one thing is kind of put on the side, other things get better. So I've improved in other aspects of my game where, working around, getting healed up after the Burgos fight. I feel great, man. So we're ready. I've improved in areas that are a little different. You might see a little different Cassius coming out here. Who knows?
All right, Patrick Dana.
Hey, Clay. You're one of the only not one of the only, but you're one of the fighters that's kind of known to have had a whole boxing career. How do you feel about Francis Ngannou's whole journey into fighting Tyson Fury? How did you feel about his performance and just his future in boxing potentially?
Yeah, I gotta give him props because I trained with them a little bit back in Extreme Couture, and I never would have guessed that would have been the case, him going in there and dropping Fury. And I mean, a lot of people might have him winning, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wish him all the success. I think he can take it as high as he wants. And as far as he wants to go in boxing or mixed martial arts. Baddest man on the planet, PFL.
So you got your leg a little bit busted up in your last fight against Shane. I just wanted to ask how it's feeling and how it recovered.
So that lead leg's used to taking a beating, man. It bounces back next couple of days. I'm good to go. So yeah, we're feeling good.
Good to hear. Can't wait.
Dave.
Hi, Clay. Please don't punch this Canadian in the face. Talking about me here. No, all kidding aside, you come from boxing. He comes from judo. How do you think your boxing can play to his judo in this one?
I mean, controlling the distance. With the striking, you got to get close enough and grab me to be able to use your judo, and to get close enough to me, you're going to have to get past my hands, which are dangerous.
Thank you.
Marty.
Hey, Clay. Earlier on this year, in an interview with Combat Media UK, you mentioned that you remember when you were a young pro, you were asking who's the toughest fighter in Utah, which was where you lived at the time, and you went after that guy. and you've been doing that your whole career. Obviously, it seems now, Olivier is probably the toughest fight for you in lightweight. Seeing as you're used to that, is there anything that you are doing differently to prepare for this one, or is it just another day in the office for you?
Yeah, it's just another day, I might be throwing in a couple extra workouts a day just because you have that fire and that motivation, it being a title fight, it being a dangerous opponent. So we've been grinding, man, and we're ready to shine.
Okay, and the last one from me, you alluded to just in a couple of questions back that there might have been a niggle or so in your camp. Would you give yourself a better chance now, obviously, if you've had to change things around, or would you have preferred not to have had the niggles and maybe focused on what you were originally best at in those skills in that sense?
I think life is about overcoming adversity and shining regardless, working through tough times and hard times. And when things aren't going your way, you can stack all those fucking chips up against me and I'm still going to show up. And that's what I've done. And I wouldn't have any other way. So
love that. All the best, my brother.
All right. Any more questions for Clay before we let him go? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
All right.
All right.
Looks like we're seeing none. Clay, appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us. Sorry we missed you a couple weeks ago, but thank you for rescheduling fitness in.
No, that's my bad. I thought it was Mountain Time. They said Eastern Time. Kind of got stuff mixed up. So just if you send me a time, make sure it's my time because I might miss it.
Hey, see, we told everybody it was a technical issue. We were trying to cover for you, man. We didn't want to be like he messed up. We just said, it was a technical issue.
Nah. I'll loan up and I'll apologize. That's on me.
I guess the technical issue is we didn't technically tell you what time zone it was going to be. That was it.
Yeah, come on, guys. I'm a country bumpkin out here, man. I don't. You making me do math? I know it's only 2-3 hours, but damn.
That's fantastic. Well, you better get ready to do math if you got that $1 million in the bank, man. Be ready to brush up on that. Get that PS5. Get that Mortal Kombat.
My girl handles all our bills and whatnot. Because if I did, it wouldn't go well. That's for sure.
That's awesome. All right, Clay. Appreciate you joining us, man. Thanks for it. We'll see you out there next week in Washington, D.C.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks to Clay Collard. We're going to have one last section to go here. We're going to bring in Kayla Harrison and Aspen Ladd. I believe we are getting everybody connecting right now, but if you want to go ahead and start putting your hand in the air, I know you got some questions for these two ladies, of course, with this recently announced matchup. I think we're finalizing the connection now, so we might have just a short little break, 2 to 3 minutes tops while we get everybody connected. So if you hang tight, we'll bring those two ladies in here in just a minute. Appreciate everybody's time so far today.
Hello?
Hi, Aspen. I'm trying to spotlight you. Just give me 1 second.
All good. Driving at the moment, it'll be parked in about 5.
Okay, cool. Kayla should be coming on any second.
Got it.
Hopefully everybody's enjoying this casual afternoon drive with Aspen Lad. We appreciate it.
I'll be parked in a minute. Hi.
Good to see you. We'll just hang out, go for a ride. The dog's in the back as always, of course.
My life's commuting, man. Like it's hard. Like making time in between, but I'm almost there.
Oh, I appreciate it. We thank you for fitting in the time, and we should have Kayla joining us real quick, and we'll get started. I know the media is ready to speak with you after this surprise matchup. So please just a minute.
I can't see you. I just see like 2 screens of me right now.
I think they just have you pinned. Nobody needs to see me. You're the star.
I like when I'm talking to somebody. Not that your voice is not great, but
Oh, there we go. All right. Now we have Kayla Harrison as well, so we can get things started. Kayla, thank you for joining us as well. We appreciate it.
Hi, gang. How's it going?
Well, we're good. We appreciate having us. We got the media lined up, so we'll jump to them in just a minute. I'll just ask you a couple things to kick things off. I guess, Kayla, now that you're here, I'll ask you, change of opponent, obviously change of plans here late. Just give us your thoughts on kind of what unfolded in this new matchup that you have.
You guys were all privy to it. It all kind of went down on the internet anyways. I found out that there were some contractual disputes, and I got a call from Ali and said, how do you feel about Aspen Ladd at 150? And I said, anyone, anywhere, any place, anytime. And then and now we're on a joint press call together. So here we are.
Respect. Well, thank you for joining us today and appreciate taking the match. But I guess, Aspen, we'll ask you as well. As Kayla laid it out, it kind of unfolded in front of us, a little bit of a surprise. How did it happen on your end, and what were your thoughts when it was offered? Hey, do you want to step in and take this?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was offered like late last Friday, and they immediately offered the 150 catch weight because I was under the impression, like everybody else, that they were fighting and that Julia signed the contract. I just thought, okay, she got injured. They need a last-minute fill-in. But it was an immediate go from us. And it's like, sweet, let's go get it.
Interesting. So I guess to clarify, because that was, I think, a question everybody had, neither one of you actually asked for 150. It was just with the short notice. That's where it was lined up?
No, it was just when they called, they offered it. Super short notice and not going to look a gift at the horse and mouth kind of thing there.
Nice. And Kayla, you said the same, right? You didn't ask it, just that's the way it was lined up.
Yeah. No, I was on track to, make weight at 145 for the second time in my career. But obviously, whatever, any weight, I guess I should add to that. Any place, anytime, anywhere, any weight.
There you go. Just keep adding to it. Awesome. All right. Well, I know everybody's excited for the matchup. We're, unfortunately it fell apart, but I think the matchup that came together is just as exciting. I know the media feels that way as well. So we'll turn it over to them now. We'll turn to their questions.
All right, Harry, start us off, please.
Hey, Kayla, long time no speak. How are things doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I wanted to ask you, I watched the recent episode of the sort of countdown show for this fight, and you were sort of discussing your career and how you've been training for 20 years, twice a day, and you've had this year absence, and it was more sort of, a mental healing and focused thing rather than a physical concentration. So what's the sort of year been like for you? Has it been like that? Has it been more on the mental sides?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I was still in the gym training every day. I went from training twice a day, pretty much year round, to just training once a day, focusing on where I can get better. A lot of the holes in my game, trying to make them smaller. But the biggest gains I feel like I made mentally, and I would argue even spiritually. I grew, as a person, and I kind of found out who I was. If I wasn't Kayla Harrison, Olympic champion, if I wasn't Kayla Harrison, world champion, if I was just Kayla. And it's brought me a peace, and God has brought me a peace that can't be fucked with. So I think it's a great time for me. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I just have a totally different mindset going into this year and this fight of like,
just one of gratitude versus pressure. And it's been fantastic.
Has the goal in combat sports changed since before that fight to now?
Absolutely not. You know, I did have to get really still and kind of examine my life, examine my goals, examine my choices, and figure out, is this what I really want? And, you know, there's still that fire in my heart. There's still that desire to go down as undeniably one of the greatest to ever do it. And once I realized that, you know, it's a matter of how and when, and having faith that it'll all work out the way it's supposed to. You know, everyone stumbles. This is, for me, more than a fight. I guess it's kind of a testimony to life, right? Like, people stumble, people fall, people fail, shit happens. There's no perfect human on this earth, and what I do with it and how I carry myself after and how I choose to overcome says a lot about who I am as a person, and will just make that comeback that much sweeter. So I'm really looking forward to it, and the goal hasn't changed.
Thank you. Nice to speak to you again, and nice to have you back.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
And
Hey, what's up, Kayla? I was curious, we talked about the mental improvements and the spirituality. I was wondering if maybe you could note on the biggest change in your skill set, those 12 months of improvement inside the gym, and areas where you feel like, hey, you know what, this is going to look like a different Kayla inside the smart cage.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm coming into this year and this fight as a different fighter completely. I'm much more well-rounded. I think my comfort level has increased. I think my range finding ability, my striking, just my fight IQ in general has gone up a level. I'm not, I think you guys are just gonna have to wait and see, but a lot of it is confidence and comfort. I got really comfortable being uncomfortable this past year and still trying to find a way to win. I went from being in 4 camps back to back to back to back to being everybody's training partner and having to, spar certain ways and give certain looks and be in the fire and figure it out. So yeah, I just have a different level of composure, I think, inside of the cage, where if things don't go my way right off the rip, I think it's safe to say for the past 15 fights, before my last fight, I was kind of a front runner and I was kind of a bully, and I was kind of like, I just went in there and did my thing. And, there are going to be times when you don't win every exchange of every round, and how are you going to handle that is important. So I got comfortable there.
I love it. And for Aspen, this fight almost to the day is going to be your year anniversary inside the PFL. Over the last 12 months, can you reflect on just being in this new promotion and, the experience? Some would say 3-0, 2-1 officially. Pretty good year so far in your rookie season.
Yeah, things happen, and I've been around. I've been in different promotions, Invicta, UFC, and nothing is like PFL where they keep you this active all the time. So I've thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of it. So yeah, just being able to be so active, being able to go out and improve in every fight, and not having to wait months on end, that's been the biggest change and the thing that I enjoy the most with it.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hey guys, thank you. Aspen, I have a quick one to start with you. We spoke recently. I'm just wondering, you do a lot of these Zooms in your car with your dogs. Have you ever thought, what do they think about when they see you talking in your phone all the time?
No, not at all. It's just, I live so far away from everything. I'm always commuting, and I'm either driving from one training session to the next or from home down. So it's finding the time to get on them. So I'm usually in the car at some point.
And then 2 questions for Kayla. Kayla, I want to ask you, I read this, you got a new pet emu named after Eminem. Are we going to have some Eminem walkout music?
Two. I have two emus. I have MMA and Marshall Mathers. The kids picked the first names and I picked the middle names, but no, actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be done, but there's a pretty cool initiative that's happening with Bose and a female producer. So it won't be Eminem. It might be something new though, which is exciting.
Looking forward to it. And then my final question for you, Kayla. One of the things I noticed on your social media that you've really been pushing is this kind of more focus once again on your book and the Fearless Foundation. You're obviously a very famous fighter, obviously have a very big platform. As you get back into competition finally, how big is it for you to kind of just remind people about all these things you have going on and being able to help others through that platform?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big reasons I do what I do. You know, I love to fight. If you took away all of the lights and all of the audience and all of the fans and all of the money, I would still do what I do because it brings me joy. But I also believe that everything happens for a reason and that I've been given this platform for a reason, and that to not use it to make a difference in the world would be a crime, you know? So I do want to shine a light on what child sexual abuse is. I do want to help make a difference in people's lives. And I do want to help kids not only survive, but thrive and overcome. And I want them to know, most importantly, that they're not alone.
Thank you.
Jake.
Hey guys, I'll start with Aspen. What challenges come with taking a short notice fight, especially with someone as highly credentialed as Kayla Harrison?
For anything short notice, you better have been in the gym and stayed basically on point regardless. When it's this short notice, really the only huge difference is at the end, you're cramming a little bit with what they're particularly good at, where they shine. But really, as long as you stay in, you stay active, like we were prepared anyway, just in case for the state, and then preparing for other things. So as long as you're not out of shape, you're not out of the gym, you can adjust to anything.
And then Aspen, I'll come back to you in a second, but Kayla, similarly, I mean, how do you prepare for Aspen compared to Bud? Like, is that a big difference? Did that change a lot of things up towards the end of camp?
I mean, obviously, stylistically, they're super different fighters, but, you know, I think the focus is always on my game plan, not necessarily my opponent's game plan. So it hasn't changed a ton. I've become more aware of certain situations that Aspen may be better at than, say, Julia was. But for the most part, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for anyone. It's about me.
And then last one for me, back to Aspen. I'm just curious, where do you put Kayla on like your GOAT list, or at the least, what's it like to fight a fighter that maybe you've looked up to? I don't know, a lot of respect at least.
Oh, definitely. She's been the face of PFL, and as soon as I signed with them, obviously that's the fight where you're talking about it. It's like, we'll probably eventually fight her. And it's honestly, it's awesome. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. I'm grateful to fight her. And the fact that it happened on such short notice, so be it. Like, we wanted this one, happy to have it, and here we go.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith. First question I have is for Aspen. And as you said that you have utmost respect for Kayla, but also when the cage door closes, you know, competition is competition. So when you've seen her past fights, what's the one thing that's really speaks out to you or really stands out the most whenever you're trying to study a fighter like Kayla?
Kayla is one of the best specialists there is in the game. Like, if you look at her, and obviously she's becoming more well-rounded fighter and striving to, like we all are, but you're not going to have somebody with that kind of credentials in what she has done. And there's very, very few. So a very high-level specialist.
And for Kayla, to throw it to you, I know you brought up previously that one of the things you said was you got comfortable being uncomfortable. So I would love to know, that, just to go more on depth on that, how did you then get past those thoughts, be where you are right now?
Sorry, can you say that again?
How did you get past those thoughts to be where you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of you get to this. I think that fighting is such a solo sport, but you really have to have people around you who are willing to test you and push you and like I said, make you uncomfortable in order to get to that next level. And, you know, I've been training and being uncomfortable with no goal for 10 months. I was just kind of like in the gym every day, uncertain, but certain that I wanted to be there and that I wanted to get better. So, you know, I did only striking rounds. I did, you know, rounds where I'm on the bottom. I did rounds where there's, you know, 8-time world BJJ champions on my back trying to take my neck off. And I've done rounds where there's, you know, world-class kickboxers trying to kick my head off. And I think that has allowed me the space to grow and realize that like MMA is just like everything else. You got to find a way, you got to dig deep, you got to figure it out, you got to keep your composure while.
Thank you, Liz. Good luck to your fight.
Thank you.
Sean.
All right, ladies, Sean Murphy here. I've been following you guys for quite some time. Two of my favorite female fighters on this said planet. Guys, we are about a week out, something like that. How anxious are you to get back into the ring, Kayla? And Aspen, same goes for you. How anxious are you to be a part of such a stupendous card?
I was part of this card last year, but obviously it's not to the level of Kayla where she's been on it for like the last 4 years in a row or 3 years, however many it's been. But I'm thrilled. Like, I wanted to fight again this year anyway, and to get this call is fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, Aspen has got to fight this year, so I'm looking forward to my layoff being done, being out of purgatory. You know, it's one of the richest nights in MMA. 6 lives will be changed. Fighters are fighting for $1 million and a world title, and a chance to cement their names in the PFL legacy books. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to share the cage with someone like Aspen and go out there and put on one hell of a show.
Ladies, success. Can't wait to see you guys perform.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Marty.
Hey, y'all. First question to Kayla. Firstly, I just want to say, obviously, we as MMA fans are always selfishly want to see our champions like you in the cage. So, but I do want to say that you obviously thoroughly deserve the time off and the break. In, you know, taking on an opponent on short notice, as we've heard before, is one thing, but taking on a focused, well-rested, rejuvenated, 2-time Olympic gold medalist and multiple-time PFL world champion Kayla Harrison is another thing. Really, while Aspen's online, I just wanted to hear what you have to say to Aspen and what she should be looking forward to on 24th of November.
Yeah, no, what you said, everything's very accurate. And it's like, for me, I've been competing for a long time and I enjoy it. So when I get a call like that, especially with somebody of that quality, like the opponent is of that quality, it excites me more. It gets my blood running. So it's like, ooh, it's even better. Like, it's a fight you want anyway. It's a fight you're thinking about, but to actually get the call and then have that quality of opponent, it makes you a better fighter.
Nice. And so Kayla, what should she expect?
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, my sentiment and my emotions toward Aspen are ones of gratitude. You know, I think that I'm grateful for someone like her to step up and to take the fight on short notice and to be so game. That's kind of where you separate the fighters from the warriors. You know, a lot of people want to pick and choose and have it exactly their way or no way. And she's not like that. So I'm super grateful for that. And I'm really just looking forward to going out and putting on a show. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit or talk trash and say I'm going to murder you. Like, it's just, for me, my body of work will speak for itself inside the cage. I know she's going to bring her best self. I'm going to bring my best self. And, you know, my prayer is that neither one of us get hurt.
Love that. And my last one to you, Aspen. We know you love the outdoors. Obviously, we've just seen you in your car with your dogs there, and you're always out trekking. I see on your socials that you on one of the trekking paths that you were on recently, there were some scratch marks in the trees, which looked like some wild bear marks. You're obviously unfazed by wild bears, and you seem unfazed, obviously, by facing Kayla in 10 days' time, which obviously alludes to the confidence that you have in your own skills. But is there any areas specifically in Kayla's game that you feel that you can take advantage of in the coming fight?
I think that's a wait and see kind of thing. It's very similar as like my entire career. I have no desire to talk shit. That's just not who I am or what I prefer to do. We're about to do the most singular breakdown of who you are as a human. We're about to fight each other in the cage. Whatever we say before that really doesn't matter. It's the actions, it's what you do when you're in there. So you're gonna have to wait and see.
Best of skills to both of you.
Thank you.
All right, our last question, Gabriel Morales, please.
Oh my God. So my first question goes to Kayla. So knowing that you took a year off of a lot of mental preparation, how does it feel to be back in these moments a week before? Is the fire lit even more? Is it about the same? How are you feeling at this very moment?
I just, I think I was to my good friend Kayla Rocco before jumping on this call. She's my personal professional braider, so props to Kayla. But I was talking a lot about how, especially after a loss in life or in a fight, you kind of have to you question things. Am I cut out for this? Is this who I am? Is this what I want? And I think that all fighters experience a level of anxiety before you step into a cage. I know that I do. I'm not going to pretend like I'm, like this. I think only serial killers would not be scared. Like you have this kind of like, oh shit, am I really doing this? Am I really getting in a cage and they're locking the door and I'm going to fight another human being? Like, why am I doing this? What is wrong with me? You experience all of these like big emotions, and it's been a long time since I've experienced those. So I was kind of feeling like, what does this all mean? And I think too, I've done a lot of healing and a lot of growing in this last year. And part of the reason I was so successful in especially my judo career, and also this was, I was very fear driven. I was very, I have to get straight A's. I have to be perfect. I have to win gold medals in order for them to love me. I have to do this so that nobody can see that I don't feel worthy and I don't feel enough. And I've gotten to a point in my life where that's not the case anymore. I'm a beautiful child of God of inherent worth and value. And I questioned if I would still have what it takes to be a killer. And my friend Kayla said something that really brought it all home for me. It's like, dude, I see you every day at the gym. I see you when you're focused. I see you when you have your intent. I see you when you have your goals and your purpose in front of you. And make no mistake, like, you're a warrior. And that's what you were created to be. That's what you were born to be. I've been a fighter since the day I was born, like, this is who I am. It's in my DNA. It's in my blood. And that is exciting, and that brings me joy, and that brings me gratitude. Like, I cannot wait to stop talking about it and just go out there and do it. So yeah, I'm in a great place. I'm mentally in a great space, physically, emotionally. I'm ready to be a happy fighter and a dangerous one.
Thank you so much. My next question goes to Aspen. Knowing the transfer to the PFL from the UFC, you're in a different weight class now. How does it feel now? Do you feel as if this evolution into a new weight class has developed you into a better fighter rather than what you were going through to the UFC? Do you feel like you're in a better place now than you were before? And how is it feeling right now?
Oh, definitely. In the UFC, trying to make 135, the emphasis on trying. it was constant depletion, constantly just doing everything I can to be small enough to hopefully make it. There was absolutely no way I could fight this many times in 1 year or be the backup fights like this one. I just physically couldn't do it. So I'm healthy. I'm able to enjoy fighting and training and being able to fight back to back to back. So it really has completely changed my life as a fighter. It's like I'm able to enjoy things again.
Thank you so much, and best of both luck to both of you, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Kayla's ready to stop talking about it and just get in there. Aspen's clearly got a workout to get to. We're slowing that down. So that's probably a good place to end it for everybody. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but Kayla, Aspen, obviously, we've all been excited since this matchup was announced. So we're looking forward to seeing you next week in Washington, D.C. So thank you for the time.
Yeah, thanks, John. And everybody else, I will see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.
Awesome. We'll see you out there.
Soon,
Thanks to the media as well.
You soon, boys.
Thanks to everybody for doing it. We appreciate it. Media, thank you for all joining in today. Appreciate everybody that joined us. Obviously, the 2023 PFL World Championship, Friday, November 24th at the Anthem in Washington, D.C., streaming on ESPN Plus and ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Look forward to seeing all of you out there that are going to join us. And for everybody else,